There's one of our favorite jerks turning on the waterworks.
You're always about lifting up everybody around you and everybody.
Of course.
Why is that?
You have to. You have to lift people.
Do you think our democracy is at risk in this election?
I think that it is. I always keep saying democracy is great, of course. But democracy people take for granted. A word that some people don't even understand. They take for granted. It's about right and wrong.
You know, it's been quite an unusual week in America. One moment, Greg Gutfeld is joking around like a detective, and the next, Robert De Niro seems to vanish from the spotlight. One minute, a Hollywood icon is full of energy on screen, and the next, things go unexpectedly quiet, like a Wi-Fi signal dropping during a storm. So what actually happened, and why does it feel like late-night TV might have brushed up against something more than just humor? Stay tuned, because this story unfolds quickly and keeps you guessing.
Last night, an elderly, confused man went missing in New York. Luckily, a band of self-satisfied elitists found him babbling on the street, threw some pants on him, gave him a stage.
Oh my God.
I'm going to say one thing. The guy's a monster. He is beyond wrong. It's almost like he wants to do the most horrible things that he can think of in order to get a rise out of us. I don't know what it is, but he's been doing it, and it's...
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps more than you might think. What many people initially saw as just another celebrity disagreement gradually started to feel like something more intriguing. Now, it almost seems like a Hollywood game of cat and mouse, with one of the industry's biggest names suddenly appearing unusually quiet, as if stepping out of the spotlight for a moment.
Lawrence O'Donnell's 5 years younger than Trump. And Rachel Maddow's been dressing the same for 20 years, like Wally Cleaver. The same clothes. And the star of Dirty Grandpa, Robert De Niro, getting censored by The View after raging like a bull who saw a red MAGA hat.
And they might think that it's going to make their life better, or they just want to, excuse my French.
Robert De Niro built his career on raw intensity, powerful emotion, and a fearless way of speaking his mind. But when the spotlight shifted and tougher questions began to surface, that strong presence seemed to grow quieter, almost as if it slowly faded into the background.
Nothing I like more on a Sunday than some old guy spewing F-bombs.
This guy should not be president, period.
And when you say that, folks on Fox come after you. I remember the Tonys when you got up there and cursed. A lot of criticism of you. Okay, well, you know, this is cable, so it's not an FCC violation, but it is still a Sunday morning.
That was Bobby De Niro promoting his new movie, Grumpy Old Man 7, More Strained Peas. Actually, it was triggered by our nation's hall monitor.
What changed between that bold, on-camera confidence and the quieter presence we're seeing now? And how did Greg Gutfeld, someone many view primarily as a comedian and host, end up at the center of a moment that seems to go beyond typical late-night talk show conversation?
You have to bring them together. Period. You can't divide people. You can't win that way. It's a no-win situation. And look what we have. Look who we have there. It's almost like a destiny to have this thing there, attempting to destroy this country.
Robert De Niro built a reputation as a fearless voice. For decades, his performances became cultural landmarks, and off-screen, he was never one to stay quiet or go unnoticed. He didn't just share opinions, he expressed them with a confidence that often made headlines. From politics to pop culture, there were few topics he wouldn't address with boldness. And while those moments kept him in the spotlight, many assumed that when he spoke strongly, it reflected the same intensity he brought to his roles. But now, that perception is starting to shift in unexpected ways. Enter Greg Gutfeld, a host recognized for sharp commentary and a direct analytical style. Known for turning observations into pointed discussion, he began highlighting patterns in recent public moments, drawing attention to changes in tone and visibility. As conversations grew, some viewers began noticing differences between past appearances and more recent ones. What first seemed like isolated observations gradually felt more connected, sparking wider discussion and curiosity about what might be going on behind the scenes.
The host acts dumb, not a stretch, as if he didn't see this coming from a guy who talks like a one-man Navy.
This idiot is the president. The guy is a fool.
Our government today, with the prompting of our baby-in-chief, has... in chief, I call him.
That's some reliable source you got there. This is what moms call bad language, or what producers call great TV.
Where once Robert De Niro would step on stage and speak with unmistakable confidence, he now seemed to avoid situations where questions could be asked, answers expected, or stories examined. At first, the change was subtle, but as the pattern emerged, it became impossible to ignore. Greg Gutfeld didn't start with attacks. His approach was curious and probing. Rather than mocking, he focused on the consistency and clarity of De Niro's recent statements. What had De Niro said that made it seem like he couldn't fully stand by it? And why did Gutfeld's questions feel so precise that the response wasn't a rebuttal, but more of a retreat? As observers tracked De Niro's public presence, his absence became striking, not just in fewer TV appearances or social media posts, but in a deliberate pattern of stepping back whenever someone looked deeper than the surface.
See, I find that he's smartest when they drop his audio. But, it's kind of sad because you can see, people who are stuck in some kind of, derangement, they can't see it themselves. And they're not surrounded by people telling them that they have a problem. And they lack self-awareness because everybody either tells them they're wonderful or wants to sell them cocaine. So he has no clue what he's doing. And he's upset over the emotional nature. His anger is emotional.
Controversies in Hollywood aren't new, and it's common for celebrities to avoid tough questions. But there's a difference between choosing your media appearances and seeming to vanish entirely when direct, pointed questions arise. That distinction created a cultural moment because this retreat didn't feel like the usual PR strategy of staying quiet. Instead, it seemed driven by discomfort, with real stakes behind it. Greg Gutfeld didn't let it go unnoticed. He investigated the situation carefully, highlighting that a once bold voice in entertainment now appeared hesitant to address the very points he had previously championed. Social media buzzed as reactions poured in, faster than typical entertainment news. While some critics dismissed it as just another ratings-driven clash, Gutfeld's approach remained focused on substance, asking sharp, precise questions rather than seeking drama for its own sake.
De Niro cried like that was when he got a lap dance from a white woman.
They're bony.
Sherrod,
Yes.
what happened to De Niro? That was the Cape Fear guy.
No, that was De Niro. That was like De Niro when they killed the Joe Pesci character in Goodfellas.
Yes.
It's like he's going nothing nobody can do. What do you mean he's good?
Well, no, I'm not going to watch it.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, he's an older guy. Old men cry.
Yeah.
Isn't that a book by Judy Blume or somebody?
Greg Gutfeld wasn't just joking about Robert De Niro's absence. He was highlighting contradictions and demanding answers, making it harder to dismiss as just another celebrity spat. Behind the scenes, the discussion only intensified. Industry insiders began suggesting that De Niro's retreat wasn't accidental. It looked calculated. Think about what would make someone pull back from the public after bold statements. People don't disappear when everything is fine. They step back when they sense risk, whether reputational, emotional, or strategic. This offers a bigger lesson in how public figures handle pressure. Confidence on stage can fade once the lights are down, and audiences notice. The debate divided fans and critics. Some defended De Niro's right to choose when he speaks, which is fair, but it doesn't fully explain such a sudden retreat. When inconsistency meets avoidance, it naturally raises the question, was this just a misstep in media strategy, or something deeper driving the withdrawal?
National figure at peak derangement and Godeman is snapping. It's like cabaret for the chronically obsessed. It's like when you were a kid and would pull wheelies on Old Man Johnson's front yard. Finally, he just cracks. He's holding a spatula, chasing you around in his open robe. That's the De Niro CNN business model in a nutshell. Money for nothing and clicks for free. Of course, the real story is how accusations of Trump's nutty behavior always ends up with the accusers.
Greg Gutfeld's commentary tapped into a natural curiosity. Once the audience noticed the contradictions, they couldn't look away. This story spread faster than typical celebrity gossip because it wasn't just about entertainment. It touched on reputation, authenticity, and accountability in a culture obsessed with spectacle and scrutiny. People are drawn to mysteries, especially when they involve icons who have long seemed untouchable. And once that image cracks, interest only intensifies. The irony is striking. Robert De Niro, who built a career portraying characters facing danger with steely determination, now mirrored that tension in real life. Television history shows that some thrive on controversy as long as it's performative, but when it demands genuine accountability, even the boldest voices can show cracks. Gutfeld didn't manufacture a scandal, he simply asked the questions that mattered, and the reaction revealed more than anyone expected.
Nothing practical.
Right. And remember, he is the most boring interview. He used to sell his movies on Leno and Letterman, and it was like watching a WNBA game. You just were just bored to death. And then all of a sudden, Trump became president, and he started saying things, I want to punch the president in the face. You know, he's a crooked piece of... And then all of a sudden, De Niro became interesting during his media tours. And that's the only way now he can get publicity for his...
That retreat tells its own story, because how someone reacts when they don't have answers often reveals more than what they say when they do. The public response to Robert De Niro's quieter presence has been mixed. Some defend it, saying silence can be strategic, it protects dignity and prevents unnecessary escalation. When used intentionally, silence can be powerful, but there's a big difference between purposeful quiet and avoidance driven by fear of contradiction. When it feels reactive or opportunistic, audiences perceive uncertainty rather than strength. That's when the story deepens. People began questioning not just what De Niro said, but what he didn't say. They speculated about private conversations, behind-the-scenes decisions, and how someone known for bold statements could suddenly seem hesitant. A shift like that turns a story from lighthearted commentary into real cultural curiosity. Viewers don't just want to see what happens next, they want to understand why. Moments like this pull audiences in, making questions outweigh assumptions. The uncertainty of the next move keeps everyone engaged, transforming ordinary entertainment into a narrative people feel they must follow.
I don't know about you, but I think it's a testament to Trump that he made De Niro cry. I mean, that's kind of an honor, like to say I made Robert De Niro cry.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. Is he a crier or not? Because if he's not a crier and imagine not a crier and he just cries over this. If I were his wife, I would be so pissed.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just had a baby. Imagine he does not cry when the baby is...
The surprising twist isn't just that Robert De Niro went quiet, it's that his silence ended up speaking louder than any statement he's ever made. His absence became part of the conversation. That shift is what turned a simple commentary moment into a full-blown cultural curiosity. It's a reminder that in public life, not showing up can sometimes say more than words, especially when expectations are high and accountability is overdue. As this story unfolds, one thing is clear. Audiences aren't just waiting for the next tweet, interview, or soundbite. They want meaning, context, and answers that go deeper than platitudes or catchy lines. How someone responds when asked to defend their words earns respect. Words without accountability are just noise, and when a figure known for bold statements suddenly avoids defending them, people naturally ask why. Greg Gutfeld didn't create this moment, he simply highlighted it with sharp observation, giving the audience a chance to see what was already there.
Calls Trump crazy as he goes crazier. Adam Schiff calls Trump a liar as he makes up quotes. Dems talk about undermining institutions as they try to undermine an election. But when asked for reasons why Trump shouldn't be president, all Bobby had were sputtering F-bombs. His resistance had run out of script. It was just another role without dialogue, so he had to improvise. But I handed to CNN. It got me to watch, and by having it on the 5, it quadrupled their audience. Congrats to Stelter and CNN for that 1 minute.
So as we watch the ripple effects of this unexpected turn, the question isn't just where Robert De Niro has gone, it's where the story goes next. Will there be a public response? Will explanations finally come? Or will the silence continue to speak louder than any statement ever could? How this unfolds will determine whether it becomes just another celebrity footnote or a defining moment in how public figures handle challenge, contradiction, and accountability. The tension isn't only on screens or in headlines, it's alive in every conversation, social media thread, and late-night segment where the same question keeps coming up. Why did De Niro pull back, and what does it say about him now? What began as simple celebrity commentary has evolved into a deeper lesson on perception versus reality, confidence versus performance, and the surprising fragility of reputations once considered untouchable. Every unanswered question adds to the intrigue, making each appearance, or absence, feel like a statement in itself. Greg Gutfeld's role illustrates how influence can work in unexpected ways. He didn't just comment, he reframed the story, turning absence into the headline. The result is a cultural moment that continues to ripple through audiences who thought they understood Robert De Niro.